revolutionary who fought for labor rights, and that's why I have him on right now. He's a good role model for all of us in terms of like standing for the people.
A good role model. What is she thinking? Michael Monahan writes about this for the Daily Beast. What's she?
I have no idea what she's thinking, because the first thing to say is he didn't fight for labor rights. The Cuban government outlawed independent labor unions when they came to power in 1959. Che Guevara, within a few years set up the labor camps and the penal colonies that we saw up until we still see them now. I mean, they're slightly reduced, and they're not as brutal as they once were, but they're still pretty brutal. And, Guevara was essentially the executioner that pulled people that were considered counter-revolutionaries and had them shot.
So why is he on all these T-shirts?
It's an amazing thing.
We have a picture of this famous model, Gisele Bundchen. She's wearing Che swimwear here.
Mrs. Tom Brady. And I suspect they probably have a lot of money that would be expropriated by Che Guevara if he had the chance. No, I mean, it's become this sort of popular thing, and you see people like Carlos Santana, the musician, going to an awards show with a Che Guevara shirt on, not really realizing the most basic things, that Che Guevara is one of the...
It's just that he's good looking.
He was a handsome guy, but he was also banned music that was considered capitalist and decadent, like the Beatles in Cuba in the early 1960s. So these people have no idea what they're talking about. They say, well, he's a revolutionary and, he fought for poor people, etc. No, he actually required, by his ideological fanaticism, that a country, Cuba, remained poor from 1959 to today.
If you go on Twitter, talk about Cuba, people talk about, oh, they're all literate.
Sure, yeah. Two things you always hear is literacy and healthcare. The first thing is, the literacy rate, which is supposedly 99%, those numbers we get from the Cuban government, by the way, and they're not a very trustworthy source. Second of all, what is the point of full literacy if you are not allowed to read what you want? If you have to read the turgid speeches of Fidel and Raul Castro, and, that's what your literacy gets you, if you want to go to a library in central Havana and get a copy